Hello guys, you're welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to cut and sew a Victorian corset. This particular one you are watching on the screen right now, I'm going to be showing you how I cut and how I sew it from beginning to the end. But in this particular tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how I cut it. So I'll be posting the sewing tutorial in another video. So if this is what you are looking for, continue watching this tutorial with me without wasting much of our time. So for this tutorial, we will need our pattern paper. You will need your brown paper. You can use any paper. You use white, pink, any color of your choice. So you need your pattern paper for this tutorial, and at the same time you will need your scissors, your chalk, your pen. You need your pen to mark out. And here with me I have two bony, I have sewable bony, and at the same time I have non-sewable bony. But for this particular tutorial I'll be using only sewable bony. I hope you're getting it. I'll be using only the sewable bony in this tutorial, and this is the material I'll be using for the half length. This material with me here is Mikado material. I use Mikado material of just half yard. I bought half yard of the Mikado material, and with me here I have ST. This one with me here is the original one of the ST. This one is original, while this white one is cloth stay. This one is just a cloth stay. We call it BF. At the same time we call it BF, but for this tutorial I'll be using the original ST. I'm using the original ST. If you have marker, you can make use of your marker as well. So, and here is the lace fabric we are going to be using for the down part of this corset. Here is the down part of the lace that we're going to be using. I already cut the down part of the lace because I only want to show you how to cut the Victorian corset, which is the main purpose of this tutorial. I'm going to be showing you the back, how I cut the back, and how I cut the front of the corset. You get. So without wasting much of our time, let's get into the tutorial right now. So guys, the next thing we are going to do now is to fold your pattern paper into two. So I already fold my pattern paper into two. Then after folding it into two like this, the next thing I'm going to do is to mark out the person half length. The person half length, which is 15. Our half length is 15. I don't know what happened to my marker. The marker is not showing, so I will be using pen pending the time that I'll fix the marker. So like I said, the person half length is 15. The person half length is 15. So I'm going to mark that. So I'm going to mark that out with my pen. So I just mark out the person half length, which is 15. But before that, I'm going to mark out the margin line for our tutorial, where we are going to start all our measurements. We are going to mark that out. So that's the first thing I need to do before I start taking all the necessary measurements. So that is what I first did. So everything we are going to start taking will be from that margin line. So I'm going to rule out the half length. Yes, I'm going to rule out the half length. So from the half length, I'm going to measure out 7 inches at the down part here. Do you know why I mark out 7 inches? The reason for this 7 inches is because the corset we are making, the front of the corset, is going to have V kind of shape. So for the V kind of shape, I'm going to be using 6 inches. So I now add 1 inches to it again. So I'm just trying to make sure that it shows with the pen. I hope you are seeing it, Sha. So this is what I have. I mark out the person half length and the person full length. Then the next thing I'm going to do now is to mark out the person under bust. Our under bust is 12.5. Our under bust is 12.5. Our bust point is 10. Our bust point is 10, while our under bust is 12.5. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to rule those two things out. I'm just trying to rule it out so that you can see it. So we are going to rule that out now. After ruling it out, just want the pen to show. I don't know what happened to my marker. I'm going to fix it before the end of this tutorial so that I'll be able to okay, I think they have helped me to fix it. Oh my god, my goodness, this marker wants to spoil my paper. No, I will not agree for you. So the next thing I want to do now is to label all this out. So I just made mistake there, so let me just rewrite it. This line is for the breast point, while this is for the under bust. Here is the under bust, and here is the half length. Here is the half length, while this place is the full length. Yes, that is the full length. So I just have to mark it out so that you'll be able to get it. You won't be confused. We have the bust point line, the under bust line, the half length line, and the full length line. That is what we have now. So after you are done marking all this line out, the next thing we are going to do is to mark out the person shoulder measurement. What is the person's shoulder measurement? Our shoulder measurement is 14. Then I'm going to plus half of an inch to our half length, to our shoulder measurement rather. So that will make it 7.5. Can you see that? Then I'll go ahead and mark out the same thing at this part, 7.5. Then I'll go ahead at this exact place that I marked the 7.5. I'll mark it out again, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5. Then I'll rule it. I'll rule a straight line. Then I'll go ahead and rule another straight line here. That is for our armhole guidance. So after you are done with that, the next thing we need to do now is to get the midpoint of this armhole circumference. We have 7.5 here, right? So you are going to divide 7.5 divided by 2. Then just fold your tape measuring like that, just to divide. Then after that, come in with half of an inch. Can you see? So after you come in with your half of an inch, take your French cuff and do your armhole circumference at this point. If you don't have French cuff, you don't need to panic. You can just use your free hand to do this. You can just use your free hand to do that. I hope you are seeing it. Okay, so that is for the armhole circumference. Now the next thing, I would like you to watch this tutorial carefully, so that by the time you want to make your own, it will be super easy for you to make. You understand? So the next thing I'm going to do now is that I'm going to mark out 1.5 here. This 1.5 that I mark out is my upper bust measurement. So I just come up with 1.5 inches up from the bust point. I come up with 1.5. If you don't want your cleavage to show, I will advise you to come up with 2 or 2.5, because in this dress, you can see that my cleavage shows small, a little bit. If you don't want your own to show at all, just come up with 2.5 at that part that I come up. So this is the upper chest line. That is our upper bust line. You understand? If I'm using chest in this measurement, I'm sorry for that. I think I'm used to that chest of a thing, but what I mean is bust. You understand? So the next thing I'm doing right now is to use my marker to mark all the lines out, because I want you guys to see what we are doing clearly. You get it? So that is what I just did. So the next thing we are going to do now, after getting all our lines out, is to take out our nipple to nipple, which is bust pan, our nipple to nipple out. Now this person now, our nipple to nipple is 7.5. Sorry, our nipple to nipple is 7. 7 divided by 2 will give us 3.5. Can you see that? To give us 3.5. So I'm going to add half of an inch to it. So that will make it 4 inches, which is because the paper is folded into 2. So I'm just going to mark out 4 inches all through. 4 inch, okay, that is inches. 4-inch all through. So after marking it like this, I'm going to take my ruler and connect this line together. I'm going to connect the lines together now. After I'm done, can you see what we have? So the next thing you are going to do now, after you mark out your nipple to nipple, from the half length area, come out by 1 inches. Can you see that? Come out from the half length area, go in by 1 inches. Come to the under bust area, come out by 1 inches, go in by 1 inches. Just watch how I'm doing it. So after you are done with this, connect these lines together from the half length to the under bust. Please don't forget, you are coming from the half length to the under bust area. This is very simple. Let me tell you the truth. This is so simple, because if you know how to cut your normal bustier, your princess bustier, then you are good to go with this. The only difference is the panel that you are going to insert inside. The panel we are going to insert later inside it. That's the only difference. So I hope you are getting it. So after you are done with this, the next thing you are going to do is to take your French cuff. But if you don't have French cuff, don't panic. Let me just use my free hand to do this, please. Can you see? Just connect a line from the under bust to your bust point here. From the under bust to my bust point. So I'm going to use free hand to do this as well. I'm using my free hand in case if you don't have your French cuff. So that's why I decided to use my free hand at this part. In case if you don't have your bust and your French cuff, I'm just trying to tell you that you can do this without your French cuff. You get what I'm saying? Then at this part here, you come out with 1 inches. Then here you go in with ½ inch or ½ inch and quarter, either of the two. At this part 1 inches, then at that part ½ inches or ½ inch and quarter. Then so here I'm going to use my French cuff, but I decided to use free hand the other time because I feel like some people might not have that and think that it's not possible to make this. No, you can use your free hand with your straight ruler to make this, but I will advise you to get your French cuff because it makes your work easier. So just connect it like this. Can you see what we did? So we just connect it like this. So after you are done with this, we are not done yet though. We are not done, no. We are not done at all. So kindly wait patiently. So the next thing I'm going to do now, before I insert the panel, I'm going to take the body measurement first. The chest measurement plus 2-inch sewing allowance. That's what I'm going to do here. That's the person. Yeah, since I didn't come out anything from that bust point, I'll just add my normal 2 inches at that part. You get? Then I'll come to the half length. That's where I'm going to measure the waist measurement. Then I'll plus how many inches here? 2 inches. Then I'll add the 2 inches back. Then I will now add my normal 2-inch sewing allowance at this part. The reason why I'm not using marker is because we are. So this is it. So I'm going to use my ruler to connect this line now from the half length to the chest to the bust line. So I'll just use my ruler. This is the normal measurement. I just take out the measurement. This is the body measurement out. Now this one that I mark now is with the sewing allowance. So I'm going to go ahead and mark the normal measurement out now. The reason why I'm not using marker is because I'm going to remove panel at this part. So if I use marker now, it might confuse us, and I don't want us to be confused. I want us to get it. I want us to understand this tutorial carefully. So I just rule out the normal body measurement with the sewing allowance. So I'm just trying to mark, telling you that this place is the sewing allowance. So after you are done taking your normal body measurement, then I'm just going to just watch what I want to do from the measurement, the body measurement. I just divide it by 2 to the place that you will take the nipple to nipple. So I divide it by 2. So at the end of the day, I have 4. Then 4 divided by 2, okay, I have 5. 5 divided by 2 will give us 2.5. So I just want to rule it out. So just rule it out at the half length to the under bust. Can you see? I'm going to use a marker now so that you'll be able to see it very well. I'm going to use marker here. So I just divide from the in between this place, 2.5, 2.5. Then I'll come in here with half of an inch. I'll go in here with half of an inch. Then I'll come to the under bust area. I'll mark the same thing, just like we did when we want to do the normal body, the bustier at that time. So you are going to repeat it at this part. Can you see? Then you are going to, can you see what I did? That's why I use marker here, so that you'll be able to see it. If I use marker for the normal body, this thing, the thing might be too much. So you see 3 inches. 3 inches. So I have to mark it out here. 3 inches, 3 inches, so that then you are going to repeat the same thing here as well, just like you are taking your darts. This one we are doing is just like you want to tighten the waistline, the under bust area. You want it to be tight, to be firm. That is the essence of this. Now, if the panel you are making, if you want the panel to be plenty, like to be like 10, 12, then you can make more of this. You understand? Then at this place, I'm going to come down with 1 inches. I'm going to come down with 1 inches at this part here. Yes, I'll just mark it out. Then I'll take my French cuff just to do the shaping of the neckline, because I want to fit out something like that. Now, what, like I was saying, this panel that I just removed now, like that, if you want your panel to be as many as possible, then you are going to make more of this. But this one I want to make, because I don't want it to be too complicated. I want you to understand it. So that's why I make it just this single one. Then I'm going to add more to it with my own method. By the time I'm sewing it, you will understand what I mean. So now I'm just trying to use my marker to now rule the measurement out. That is our normal body measurement, and this is the sewing. That is why I have 2 lines here. The sewing allowance of 2 inches. Now you might ask me that I didn't add anything to the body measurement. You don't need to add anything to the body measurement, but in case of incasity, you can just decide. Just see what I did here. I just blend this place. I just blend it with to the down part. So just blend it like that. Just blend it like the way I blend it. I hope you are getting it. Concerning the allowance that I'm talking about, concerning the allowance, to be on the safe side, instead of the 2 inches that I had, you can add 3 inches or 4 inches. But the 2 inches that I had is okay for me. Very okay. Now, let's cut the neckline and the yoke. Just watch how I'm going to cut this. Here, I'm going to mark from here, from this place here. I'm going to measure 3 inches. From here, I'll measure 3 inches. Then from the neckline, I measure 4.5. Then I'm going to connect it together. From the neckline, 4.5. Then from the down part, I measure 3 inches. That is for the yoke. So I cut everything together. Then I'm going to do my shoulder slope of 1 inch. Don't forget your shoulder slope is very important, so that your dress will lay very well on your body. So the next thing we are going to do now is to start cutting it one after the other. I hope this tutorial is very clear, because I hope this tutorial is very clear. Like I was saying, I removed just one panel. I don't remove plenty panel in this dress. And the next thing you are going to do, don't forget to label your dress. Please don't forget to label it. It's very important. So I have 1, 2, 3. I have 1, 2, 3. Then after cutting it, I'm going to label the back part of it. So to get the panel that I did, I just placed my tape measurement at the waistline. I placed my tape measurement from the nipple to nipple that I measured earlier to the normal body measurement. Then I divide it by 2 just to get the panel. That's how I get the panel that I did. I divide the space in between the bust point, the nipple to nipple and the normal body measurement. I divide it by 2. That's how I get, and I just remove just one panel. If you want more, you can make more panels to your dress. But this one, just watch how I'm going to do it. Let's cut it out now without wasting our time. So the next thing we are going to do now is to start cutting it one after the other. Just watch how I'm going to be cutting it. So I just start from here. Just cut this one straight down, then remove this. First of all, let's remove our yoke. So this is the yoke, put that aside. Then let's remove the body measurement, the hair. So we are going to, let's start to cut it now. Just see the way I'm cutting it all. So by the time we want to cut it on your fabric now, we are going to add all the allowance we want to add to it. We are going to add it on the fabric. This is what I have here. So I'm going to go ahead now and number this. Okay, we already number it, and this is the down part, so that you will not make mistake and place the down part. So for the main fabric now, the next thing I did was I already gum my gum stay with the main fabric. That's how I always do it. It makes the work easier for me. You can first cut all your fabric before you gum your hair stay with it, but this is what I always do. Now at it, if you are very good, you can place your paper on the fabric like this. That is only if you are very good. You can place it and add all your sewing allowance of half inch all around it like this. But if you know, because doing it like this, you might do mistake. So I'm just trying to explain, so that by the time you want to make it and you feel like, okay, placing it on the fabric like this, you might cut wrong side two times and cut the same side. I don't know how to explain that. So I will advise you not to do it like this. I will advise you to fold your fabric and cut it another way around. Let's do that other way now and see. So like I was saying, don't cut it that way. Place your fabric. Can you see? Fold your fabric like this. After you fold your fabric, fold the middle one, fold it just like you fold your fabric, and pin it down. Pinning it down will make your work so easy, so that it will not be shifting by the time you are cutting it. So just pin it down. I hope you are getting what I'm saying. Pin it down like this. So after you pin it down, if you fold it like this, so you just need to cut one pieces of it, because one piece will give you 2 pieces of each. Then you repeat for the 3, because we have just 3 of this, number 1, number 2, and number 3. You can make it 6 number, like number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6. You can decide to make yours as many as possible, depending on the style you are making. You get. So So like I was saying, make sure that you pin it down before you start cutting it. So I'm going to start cutting it now. I'm going to start cutting it now. When you are cutting it, make sure you add at least half of an inch as the sewing allowance. You know you are going to join it. Make sure that you add. Can you see? You can see that I add to it. So that what I had is what I'm going to be using for the joining allowance. By the time I'm joining it, it will be half inch. Here you get. I hope you are getting it. So like I was saying, at this place here, you can just add like 2 inches or 1 inches to it, but I'm okay with what I have here. I don't want to add much as allowance to it, so I'm just trying to pin it down with the paper. I'm just trying to pin it down with the paper so that by the time I want to sew it, there won't be any kind of mistake. So after this, I think I'm going to end the tutorial here, and if you notice, you will know that I've not cut the so like I was saying, so like I was saying, I'm going to be doing another tutorial for the back piece where I will cut the back piece, where I will cut the sleeve. I'm going to be doing another tutorial on that. That will be the part 2, the cutting tutorial part 2. So the tutorial is going to be in 4 places. Cutting tutorial 2 in 2 places, and the sewing tutorial 2 is going to be in 2 places. See you.